Hi guys, how are you all doing? Chine fine babe, how are you doing? Posh Mama, Jigga, Fio Gold, Irene, Inspector Stivo. The title of today's message is, can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me have 2 or 3 people on Instagram and maybe 2 or 3 people on Facebook saying they can hear me clearly. Chine is saying, when am I coming to the US? When you people buy me ticket and sort out the logistics, I'd love to come. Jigga, you can hear me? Noble, can you hear me? Irene, you guys are on Instagram. Can you hear me? Is it clear? Fantastic. So let's work. The title of today's message is The Message, the Messenger, and the People. Almighty King, I come before you to thank you for another day. I thank you for guiding, guarding, and protecting us in every way. I thank you for gathering us today. I thank you for giving us the opportunity to share your message with one another. I thank you for your wisdom upon our lives and your grace that engulfs us. And I beg for these not to cease. In Yahushua's mighty name. So, somebody says, I've been hearing some stuff about you and Suleiman so far. Network, sorry, a bit of a network glitch. Initially, I wanted to stop live YouTube transmissions for many reasons. Primarily because a lot of people are abusing it. It's not like Instagram. You see, Instagram is a closed community. Once you just yarn something that is away from what I want to say, I just block you. So I don't have to hear you or see you. You can go and be ranting on your page or wherever else it is that you're ranting. I want to ask everyone a question. Here's the book Animal Farm. Okay, you guys can see it, Animal Farm. Who has read Animal Farm? I want to take a census. Who has read Animal Farm? Irene, please help me count on Instagram. And Jigga, help me count on YouTube. Who has read Animal Farm? Okay, Jigga said audiobook 1. Jigga has read it. Irene has read it. So Irene, please, let's count. Someone said I read the book and watched the movie. Me. So let's see. Who has read? Let's just take. I think I have 5 now. 6. 6 people on YouTube. Posh Mama said she read it 30 years ago. 7, 8. Somebody says I have... somebody said watch the movie, me. Okay, now, who has not read the book? Let's start this. Who has not read the book? Who has not read the book? I want to see who hasn't. Okay, you haven't not read. Who has not read it? I've not, to be honest. I like the fact that you guys are honest. I've not read the book. Animal Farm is what I'm talking about. Can you see that there are more people who haven't read the book than those who have? Okay, have not. We're not fighting. It's not a quarrel, but I just want to know who hasn't and who has. Okay? You have not. So right now, if you have, don't talk. We just want those who have not. The have nots. Okay? I just want those who have not. Not read. So let me tell you something, guys. I can see that there's so many people who have not read. Where's Amarachi? Uh, okay, can Baby Freeze come here or he's not dressed? Where's Abiba? Can you just call her? I want her to get something for me. Or Daniela. Or call Daniela. Okay. When we first started the Free Nation, can you guys take a look at this book? This is Animal Farm. Please help me bring the book there. The first book on top of those books. Yes, please bring it. Thank you very much, my darling. Beautiful child. So, there were 3 books that I recommended for every Free Nation member to read. 1, Animal Farm. 2, Watership Down. Watership Down. And 3, Chinua Achebe's Arrow of God. 3 books. 2 years later, we have a large number of Free Nation members or people who listen to my message regularly who haven't read these books. Three books in 2 years. There are people who have not read. If I say who has read Watership Down, how many of you have read Watership Down? This is Watership Down by Richard Adams. Who has read Watership Down? Watership Down. Everybody's quiet now. Nobody has read. Somebody said, I haven't read Watership Down. No time. No time. I haven't. I've not. Nope. Nobody's read Watership Down. Nobody. Nobody. Not Posh Mama. I know Irene has read it. Irene is the only person who read the 3 books I recommended. Now, apart from being a Bible teacher or a scripture teacher, I spent 4 years of my life going to school to study the society, sociology, the people, Marxism. Okay, welcome back, guys. Sorry, there was a power cut. Okay, guys, we're back. So, like I was saying earlier on, Sorry, it was NEPA. In my estate, it's supposed to be 24 hours electricity, but they switch from time to time. So they decided, hello, David Pius. I see you. How are you doing? How are you, K girl? So the title of the message is The Message, the Messenger, and the People. So the second book is Watership Down. A very interesting read, very important to open your mind so you can understand what we're doing. Almost no one, maybe one out of the 100 and something on YouTube and the over 100 on Instagram before we had the power cut. Only one person here and there have read this book. Now, Animal Farm, look at it. This is how thick the book is. You should be able, an average person should be able to read this book in an afternoon. This book, you should be able to read it in one afternoon. It's that short. I asked Irene to buy for me from the US, and she brought it over. The third book is by a popular Nigerian author, Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. All right? Sorry, Instagram was logged off for I don't know what reason, but it's been logged back on now, so I'm just waiting for it to populate. So please bear with me. I don't have much time. I'm going to run through our message today. So, 3 books. Very few people have read them. How are you ever going to understand the Free Nation message if there are 3 books recommended in 1 year and very few people have read these books? I also realized that a lot of us Nigerians and a lot of Christians in general find it hard to look away from the messenger and look at the message. We're all very quick to criticize the messenger. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. I put up some people on my Instagram page today, and I put them on blast. Some guy came, apparently on the radio. I like recording my radio show, which is After Dark with Daddy Freeze and the Lobsters. I'm putting snippets on it on my YouTube channel, so people can see that I have a day job. Now, when I'm putting that on, I monetize those. Generally, my YouTube is monetized, but you only get a sprinkle here and there for the gospel messages. People want to talk about what they talk about on the radio. Now, because the message of God is free, I always make sure that same message that is on YouTube, that is monetized, is available for free on Instagram for 24 hours and while it's on live. Nobody charges anybody for Instagram, it's just your data. Then that message is also free on Facebook. The only problem with Facebook is you have to log on to Facebook and you have to have a Facebook account. But it's free. My problem with Instagram is the message disappears after 24 hours. And Instagram is very difficult to navigate. If you miss something, you can't scroll back. It's easy on Facebook. Have you ever tried watching my message on Instagram and then somebody calls you and says, Taste Bud, and you look, by the time you look back, You've missed it. How do you rewind? It's a mess. People were telling me I should move the message to IGTV. IGTV only allows you to record a 10-minute message, max. So the message you're looking for on YouTube. Now YouTube allows you to upload with as high as 1028p HD clarity. Facebook, you can't upload in HD. YouTube disappears in 24 hours. Is difficult. Instagram is difficult to navigate and disappears in 24 hours. So the clearest medium is on YouTube. YouTube runs adverts. Una they click am. So for somebody to tell me that I'm making money off the message, if you don't want the message that has ad, go and open a Facebook account and watch the message for free, or join us while we have the live message. But I'm not going to put my interview with Linda Ikeji or my interview with Ike Ogbona or any of my radio work. I'm not going to make them available for you on Instagram. I'm not going to make them available for you on Facebook, because that's not the word of God. That's my work, my test drives. I'm going to start watch reviews, product reviews. I also have to work. I know they pay me tithe, I know they pay me offering. And I'm not asking you for these things. But when you now start asking me about my work and all that, I think that is somewhere where you need not cross. Because before God, my conscience is clear. That's a message that you don't want to watch on YouTube. It is free for you on Facebook. Go and watch it there. Only today I didn't load up on Facebook because I've been editing on my iPad and my phone and my battery is down. So only today's, but guess what? Today's message is available on Instagram. People are watching there live, and it will be available there for 24 hours. So if you don't want to watch nobody's begging anybody to watch YouTube. I beg you in the name of God, watch Facebook, watch Instagram if you have any problem with the fact that YouTube monetizes videos. Talking about that, and in line with today's message, yesterday Tonto Dike came to visit me at home for an interview that is going to break later this evening. I've edited it, it's there, it's waiting, it's ready. I just need her to give me go ahead. When Tonto Dike came to my, and you're not going to watch a Tonto Dike interview on Instagram. Oh. That has nothing to do with the church. As a matter of fact, we didn't mention Free Nation. I just did what my radio colleagues would do, except I did it in my house. Now, you want to watch that? That is content. You want to watch that? You're not even asked to pay for it. It's just that you're going to have to deal with ads in between. Nobody's asking you to pay for it. When I know they click the ad, now they click on. So waiting come be the problem. I want to know that somebody will say that about me after the level of transparency. So that particular video is not going to be available. The link is going to be available on Instagram. The link is going to be available on Facebook, but the video will be hosted on YouTube and YouTube only. Because that's my work. It's what I do at Cool FM. It's what I do on the radio. It's what I do on television. It's my work. And my work has to be charged for. All of you talking do not work for free. Another thing is, people come to my house. I can sit down here on my bed, open my windows, and put on the fan. I cannot put on fan for Tonto Dike. It has to be ACO. And in my estate, we pay for electricity through our nose. Then they come, we have to offer food, we have to offer drinks. Anybody that comes to visit me in my house, we always host. So if I run a free video, how do I sort these out? Let's ask ourselves questions. Now, moving away from that, because I had to address that, because these are things bordering on the messenger. Yesterday, Tonto Dike shows up in my house. I open my door and she comes in and says, Daddy Freeze, Bob is in the car. Can he come in? Who is Bob? Bob Risky. We're going to have an interview that's going to last over an hour. Recorded and edited, it's 1 hour, 11 minutes. Am I going to tell Bob Risky to stay in the car for 2 hours? Do I have any issues with Bob Risky as a human being? I said, no, of course not. Let him come in. And Bob Risky came in. Of course, the interview was basically between Tonto and I and all that. And I thought about it. I said, Jig and I had discussed this earlier on, that we have to be careful. My message is angry but not hateful. I can be angry at certain things I'm seeing in the church today, but I cannot be hateful. Like I said, the free nation is a nation, not a caliphate. Our message is not a jihad against the church or against a group of people or against pastors. No. Some people, because they refuse to listen to the tutelage of the free nation, they refuse to read, they refuse to be abreast with what we're talking about, have started preaching a message of hate. Kingsley said, leave long talk, Daddy Freeze, teach. I'm blocking you from my page. Why don't you teach? Is your own hand paining you? Don't you know how to read Bible? So, and I also realized that we don't know the Christian God. Well, God is not a Christian, but the God of the Christians. We know the God of the Jews, the God of the Old Testament, the God who would decide that he hates Esau for nothing. He just hates him from birth and loves Jacob. Because we have refused to learn, we have attributed hate to part of the message. And I'm here to debunk that. Nobody wants to hear what Suleiman is doing that is good. Everybody, you guys all hate him. My message is not for you to hate any pastor. Let me ask you a question. Let's speak to one another today. Imagine instead of Suleiman, I had come up and said, I've been talking to Oyedepo, Adeboye, or Ibiome for the last 3 months, and we talk 5 or 6 hours, 5 or 6 times a week, which was what led to the whole explosion. How would you guys have felt? How you guys have felt? You would have felt better that I was talking to Oyedepo. You would have felt better I was talking to Adeboye. Wouldn't you have felt better? Be honest. Let's be honest. Let's speak like brothers today. Let's be honest. Let's people. One or two people will say, no, I wouldn't. Most people would have felt better if the person I spoke about that I'd been speaking to was Adeboye. Somebody says better because they don't behave arrogantly like Suleiman. Is it about arrogance or is it about doctrine? I remember one of the men I mentioned holding a magic wand up and telling people to pray to it. But because he's humble, you guys prefer him. Let's look do you know how many schools Suleiman has built that are free schools? I've met quite a few people and I've done my own private investigation on him. There are people in his church who are on a monthly salary because they don't have work. And they are graduates, they can't get jobs. He puts them on monthly salaries. You are speaking of Suleiman being arrogant. Have you forgotten that there was one GO who slapped a girl on the pulpit because she said she's a witch for Jesus? We have got to be careful. I will never endorse a pastor using a private jet. Never. I do not agree that pastors should collect tithe. Never. As far as I'm concerned, tithing is a false, unchristian, sinful doctrine. I believe that yes, offering is allowed as specified in the book of Acts chapter 4 from 31, but I believe that every part of the offering should go to the poor. All of it. That's the free nation doctrine, and anytime I change that, you guys have every right to fight me. But here's what I beg you people to do. Stop focusing on the messenger, whether it's me, whether it's Suleiman. You know the funny thing? We've been so blinded by the lies that we've been taught as Christianity that we do not realize that the penalty for homosexuality and the penalty for greed are the same. The penalty for adultery in Christianity, we're not talking about the old law. The penalty for adultery and the penalty for lies are the same. The penalty for idolatry, where you worship a geo or a statue of a white goddess or whatever it is, the penalty for idolatry and the penalty for cheating people is the same. And the penalty for cheating people and the penalty for using abusive words is the same. So if I stand here and I point a finger at a geo who is humble but practices idolatry, while me, I'm not humble, I'm abusive in my words, we're in the same part of hellfire. Anybody practicing a wrong doctrine, Revelations 22:15, outside with the dogs. Anybody living a lie, the adulterers, the homosexuals. You know why Christ is so beautiful? It shows that we are all outside, that it is by his grace that he redeems us, not by our work. I have not seen a GO, plus the ones that do all the free things, and plus the ones that don't, plus me. I do not see any of us that is worthy of heaven. None of us. I cannot sit down here and tell you that I will make heaven. I can sit down here and show you the ones that will make hell. Because once you follow any of the wrong lines, you're on your way to hell. But I cannot tell you I will make heaven. Every day I pray. I beg God. I might not have a woman problem. You might come and dance naked in front of me for 3 days and I'll not look at you. And there are some GOs that will not look at you too. But the moment you bring out money, some people will follow you. The moment you abuse me, I will get up and I will drag you. You are not better than Suleiman. All of you here that are judging, how many of you are going to make? If you sit down and judge yourselves right, how many of you are going to make heaven? You think it is by I am now born again, but don't stop that nonsense. It is only by his grace. John chapter 6, Christ speaking, that he can't help people unless God gives them to him. I am not validating Suleiman's doctrines. I am not validating OPM's doctrines. I am not validating Bobrisky's lifestyle. I am friends with them. Does not mean that I validate them. But you guys are so shallow. And I'm disappointed that I'm leading a church of such shallow minds. Somebody says people want to leave. Go and watch all my videos from the past. I beg people to leave me. Please unfollow me. Christ looked at the remaining of the disciples. Are you staying or going? Are you paying me tithe? Are you giving me first fruit? Are you giving me offering? Are you giving me salary? Are you giving me... Do you know that every month some people are mandated to pay money for their pastors? Irene, what do they call it again? Pastors Appreciation Fund. Have you ever appreciated me? Anybody that wants to go, leave now. And I'll remind you again tomorrow, just in case you have forgotten to leave. I'm not here to rob anybody's ego. As I'm here in front of you, I'm not sure I'm making heaven. I have to pray about it every day. I'm here with a message. Thank you, Taste Buds. I don't need to be idol worshipped. But I also do not tolerate people coming to give me opinion. No. First thing you learn in the freedom, we don't run a democracy. Is that you like it or go. It's not a cult, but it's not a democracy either. 3 things I said I was going to speak about: the message, the messenger, and the people. Throughout history, the people have always been a problem. You are the problem. Not me, not Suleiman, not Oyedepo. The scriptures say people will gather around them. Teachers who will teach what their itching ears want to hear. Your teachers are a result of you. It is what you want to hear that they teach. It is not what they want to teach that you hear. It is what you want to hear that they teach according to the scriptures. Go and read the scriptures. Be Berean noble Christians, you will not be. Read scriptures, you will not read. Read books that I begged you people to read for 2 years, you will not read. Then you come here and tell me that you are angry, that I'm afraid I'm friends with Suleiman. You are not yet angry. Be prepared to be angry to the point that you will die of anger. As long as my message is pure, and I, the messenger, am as pure as I can be. I'm human. I will falter. I'll make mistakes. But I have tried. As long as the messenger stands strong and the message stands strong, please put your focus on the message or leave now.